You know, when the Nintendo Switch 2 was officially revealed, more so yesterday during the overview, along with the games and all that, even though a lot of people were excited, the excitement died down after the direct was over because they didn't tell us what the price was going to be. We had to look online to see what the prices were going to be. Now, some people are still kind of suspicious, and everything when it comes to those prices and whether or not they're legit or they're just on reserve because they're still under the MSRP. Now, the reason I bring this up is because one of the things people blame the whole situation on when it comes to the price hike to the Switch 2 is the tariffs. And how the tariffs that our leader, DT, if you will, is put into place officially as of midnight this morning. And look, if you want to blame that, that's fine. That's up to you. That's your opinion. If you want to blame the fact that it's because of all the parts and everything that had to be utilized to upgrade the system to what it would be or what it's going to be, and they have to make up that cost, that's fine. That's your opinion too. But what people have to understand, though, and I said this last night, is a lot of these world leaders, especially where things are manufactured from that come into this country, these world leaders knew this was going to happen. They knew that this day was coming, and they thought, oh, he's just kidding around. He's just trying to be intimidating and all that. No, he wasn't kidding around. He wasn't playing around or being intimidated. He was telling you a fact that, hey, make a deal with us so we can be fair with each other, or else this is going to happen. And it has. And now all of a sudden you have all these countries that are falling under this, going like, oh, you know what? We suddenly had a change of heart. We want to make a fair deal. We want to be equal, even, Steven. Now they're suddenly doing that because they realize, oh, if we get charged this, we're going to lose a lot of money. Because now they're getting a taste of their own medicine. And that medicine is, hey, your country wanted to rip us off. Now you're going to know what it feels like unless you come up with a deal that's fair, even, Steven. Like, instead of charging us 67% while we charge you less, it's going to be even, Steven. So, like, if you charge us 50, we charge you 50. You charge us 25, we charge you 25. So on and so forth. That's mainly what it is. But also, I believe, and I was telling my family this earlier, I believe the other reason as well that they're doing this is, mainly because, our leader, just like any leader would, personally, I think, in my opinion, they want to develop a lot of the items that get, developed overseas and then shipped here. They want them developed here. Again, going back to the Switch 2, a lot of people don't like that price hike on it, right? Well, that's what DT basically is trying to allude to. That and I'm sure he's going to hear about it, and I'm sure he might say something about it or give his opinion on it. But to him, the Switch 2, if made in country, in house, was done. If the development of it was done in house, in country, that the price would be a lot less. That's what he's getting at. That's what he's getting at. That if you keep the manufacturing of, said device or vehicle in country and have your own interpretation of it, then it's going to cost a lot less. That's why I think as a part of these, deals and negotiations to, kind of lower these tariffs or even get rid of them, is to basically not only stop trying to take advantage of one another, countries taking advantage of each other, in that trade situation, but also to, but also I'm trying to find the right words to say, and I'm kind of doing this so I have an opportunity because, again, it's spring break season, and those of you that have followed me for so long know what that means. But anyway, basically, I think part of this deal, in my opinion, is to also have them exchange blueprints and schematics with other countries so that other countries can develop their version, their take on said system. For example, this is the top loader version of the NES. Now we know that in Japan they have their own version. They had their own version, I should say, of the top loader, just like they had their own version of the NES. The same with the Super Nintendo. Both systems had their own versions, right? Well, not both systems, but both countries. Excuse me, as I try to put something back there. But both countries, ladies and gentlemen, had their own take on the Super Nintendo. Japan had it, we had it, Europe had it, you name it. Everybody had their own take. And even when the NES was around, Japan, calling it the Famicom, basically, had a disk drive for it. They had a mic on one of the controllers. That's right, one of the NES controllers, one of these things, their take on it, had a mic for certain games. But we didn't. We didn't have a disk drive either. But but still our system was a success because it was our own system. It was our own system. And yeah, you might say, well, parts of it were made, out of, in another country, and that's true. Parts of the parts were, but the system overall was developed here, as far as I know, in America. We were just imported those parts to utilize. That's all we were. And that's basically what he's trying to get at. He's trying to say, look, we don't mind exchanging stuff with you, but financially, let's be fair about what we're doing. And secondly, not only let's be fair financially in exchange wise in what we're doing, but also let's share our ideas. Let's share, our blueprints and schematics so that each country can develop their own interpretation. And by doing so, it brings the cost down. It brings the cost down of anything that gets made in country. And in that way also, if something does malfunction, you don't have to call upon Japan and all that, or call upon Australia or Mexico or whatever to try to get parts to be imported to potentially fix the issue. Instead, you will have the blueprints, the schematics, to do it yourself, to repair any issues, because you'll also have the parts in-house, courtesy of a fair trade. And that's mainly what this is. It's mainly to make things equal, even, Steven. Charge us 10%, we'll charge you 10%. 25%, 25%, and so on and so forth. That's all it really is. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I believe, he did say, or I mentioned in the first take of this video, the second take, he did mention it's going to be a rocky road. There's going to be bumps here and there that's going to go up and down, but eventually it's going to get to that path to where everything's more affordable, more obtainable, if you will, obtainable and everything, for everybody here in this country. So that's basically what's going on here. So yeah, you can say tariffs is the reason, but the leaders of Japan, the leaders of Russia, the leaders of Mexico and all that thought, oh, he's just jesting, he's just trying to intimidate, he's playing around. Now they're finding out he wasn't doing any of that. He is being legit. And basically the point I'm getting at is if, Nintendo of Japan doesn't want people to keep criticizing them because of the price and everything, that hopefully after a deal is made, and they're going to have to make one, that one, the price will go down on the console, the price will go down on the games, and two, once the tariff agreement is made, they'll also send schematics and blueprints to Nintendo of America so that when they set up shop, and everything, which they probably do have a shop somewhere, a warehouse somewhere, they can develop the system here and add their own little quirks and kinks and all that into the system, or just keep it as is. But that's just why I think things are happening, and we just have to be patient. But let me know what your thoughts are. I know some of you may agree with me or not, but let me know what your thoughts are. And until next time, I am out. Take care. God bless, but give me your thoughts. I think you might find some reason in what I said.